Do you regret your vote right now?
Well, between him and her, I thought he was the better choice, but honestly, I miss my Uncle Joe.
Sir, you voted for President Trump. What are you hoping to see from a second Trump administration?
Well, I'm a working class guy with 3 kids, so it's pretty simple. I hope he attacks Iran without any particular goal in mind and sends gas prices through the roof. And I want to be specific here. I don't want him to know why he's starting a war or when it'll end, but I do want it to cost $82 to fill up my Kia Sorento.
When I tell you this is some bullshit, this is some bullshit. This is some bullshit. This is some bullshit. This is some bullshit.
What do you think about gas prices, Mother?
I don't have a problem with gas prices.
So you're fine with them being high as long as it's under Trump?
No, because they're really not high to me.
So you think they're...
I lived through the Obama era.
You think they're going to go any higher?
$5
Well, I know, but
a
Trump's main thing was that the prices were going to go down, and now they're only going up and not going to go down to at least 2027.
He's getting
Temporarily?
ready to release.
Definitely not.
Why is everyone complaining about gas prices? Just don't look at them. Duh.
For me, it's impossible to ignore frustration boiling over the gas pump right now from millions of America, especially those in the MAGA base who patronize strong economy and energy independence, seeing the price sparkle to $3.85 in some states feel like a direct hit to the American dream. There is a deep settled feeling that the country is losing its grip on stability once it's hard. I think you understand that. So before we continue, I want to give credit to all original creator of TikTok clips used in this video. All clips belong to their respective creator and used here for commentary, news reporting, and education purpose only.
Hey, MAGAs, you do not get to complain about gas prices. You do not get to complain about oil prices. You do not get to complain about grocery prices skyrocketing because shipping costs are going up. This is what you wanted, remember? This is what you voted for. You've made that perfectly clear. This is your guy. You voted for the guy who started a war in the Middle East. You cheered for the aggression. You cheered for the strikes. You cheered for the escalation. But now the oil markets are freaking out and gas prices are climbing. Suddenly you're shocked? Why? The Middle East is one of the most important oil regions on planet Earth. When you start a war there, oil prices spike. When oil prices spike, gas prices spike. When fuel prices spike, the cost of transporting literally everything goes up. That means groceries go up. That means goods go up. That means the entire economy feels it. None of this is complicated. None of this is new information. This is basic geopolitics and basic economics. So no, you do not get to act surprised. You wanted the strongman. You wanted the aggression. You wanted your guy. This is what it looks like. You voted for this. You wanted this. And now you have absolutely no room to complain about it.
Hey, MAGA people, I got a question for you. So I thought the whole reason that you guys wanted to give all the oil companies all of that public land and remove all the regulations so that they could poison the environment and, make your kids sick was so that you could keep your cheap gas. But gas prices are skyrocketing because we're still exporting oil. So the whole point of you giving up all of our national wildlife land and letting the regulations slip so that they could poison the population was so that we could get cheap gas. It's not working because the oil companies want to make money. So they're raising their prices to match the prices of oil coming out of the Middle East because they're a bunch of rich corporate psychopaths who just want to make money. Your gas prices are skyrocketing. Even after you got rid of most of the EPA regulations and made it to where these people could poison your children and destroy your environment, your gas prices are still going up. Why? Because the billionaires in charge of our energy infrastructure want to make more money. So they're going to keep raising your prices to match the prices of the oil coming out of the Middle East, even though that oil is made and refined here. Why? Because you guys are dumb and you gave away all of our fucking public land and let them poison your children for cheaper gas. You didn't even get the cheaper gas.
Well, gas is up 32 cents from last week, $3.19 to $3.51. About the only cheap gas that we're getting from the Trump administration is gaslighting. So what's the excuse this week, MAGA? Huh? Tell us. Gaslight us. Let us know what's going on here. Huh? What's going on? Diesel fuel was $6.05 in Pennsylvania last night. You know, the fuel that runs the trucks up and down the interstate, that delivers goods to America. products, that stuff. Okay. So what's happening? What's the excuse this week? Joe Biden, Obama, what is it? Somebody didn't work with Trump, or somebody didn't work out a good deal with Trump, so he got pissed off and did something else? Did he blow something else up? What the fuck did he do? Tell us. You stupid.
So Trump today was asked by a reporter in regards to the rising prices at the pump because of all of the situation in Iran. And verbatim, quote for quote, he said, if they rise, they rise. I don't care. Are you kidding me? For 4 long years, his supporters and him bitched at the gas prices non-stop. And now that they're going back up, MAGA is actually cheering it on. They love it because it's Daddy Trump. They don't give a... Are you... Oh, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it.
You know what the most pathetic thing about MAGA is? Is that for most of them, the thing that will finally get them to turn on Trump will be gas prices.
Now, all of a sudden, all of these experts and CNBC analysts want to tell us that, oh, Trump is raising the gas prices because of the attacks on Iran, cutting off the Straits of Hormuz so none of the ships could get through. Meanwhile, under Biden, we had higher gas prices than we do right now, and there was no war. Make it make sense.
Wow, Miss Kathy, this is embarrassing. Okay. Miss Kathy, you can't think of any wars that happened while Joe Biden was president? I'll give you a hint. It was a war that you guys complained about endlessly, even though Joe Biden had nothing to do with it starting. Nothing coming to mind? Let's take a look at these gas prices, Miss Kathy. You see where that peak is right there? Well, in February of 2022, Russia invaded Ukraine, and that threw a giant wrench into the global oil market. Now, on top of that, it was a supply and demand issue. Miss Kathy, do you remember when COVID happened and all the countries of the world shut down and everybody stopped driving to work? Well, during that time, the oil companies ramped down oil production because nobody was buying oil. Then fast forward, the vaccine comes out and all the countries of the world open back up and everybody starts driving to work again. And when that happened, the demand for oil skyrocketed. And as most of us learned as children, Miss Kathy, what happens when there's low supply and high demand? Yeah, prices go up. So COVID combined with Russia's war on Ukraine is why gasoline got so expensive in 2022. And at this point, Miss Kathy, both Trump and Caroline Leavitt have admitted that the reason gasoline jacked up in price the last few days is because of his war in Iran. It seems like you're the only person who doesn't understand that. So some advice, Miss Kathy, if you'd like to stop embarrassing yourself on here, perhaps stop yelling at experts and try listening to them. And then maybe one day you'll have a better understanding of the world that you live in. Okay? All right, good luck.
All right, if you're screaming about gas prices, let's remember history quick. $4 a gas under Biden, when we shut down our own oil supplies. Meanwhile, Iran was chanting death to America. I'll take $3 gas and saving lives over the Sharia law. I'll take liberating the opposed. I'll take protecting Americans. That's a trade worth it. So yes, we might pay a little more at the pump, but the world is counting on us. What would you choose, cheaper gas or global security?
Guys, can you believe it? Oh, I cannot believe the president is raising the gas prices once again. God, when are we gonna get Joe Biden out of office? Wait, what? He's president? No. It's not Trump. He campaigned on lowering prices on day one. He wouldn't lie to us. No, really?
Trump supporters, don't worry about the rising price in gasoline. Yes, it's true that gas is higher now than it was under Joe Biden, and it's probably going to go even higher. But it's okay. You can use your $5,000 Doge stimulus check to pay for gas.
All you MAGA voters used to blame Biden for the gas prices. What do you have to say now?
Even MAGA is getting tired of Donald Trump, okay? Even MAGA is like, we just wanted cheap gas and funny tweets, and now we're getting a war, and now we're getting inflation again, and we're getting expensive gas. I am very happy that they're suffering now. You know, I'm very happy that they're suffering. I'll be very honest that I'm very, very happy that MAGA is going to be suffering in the near term. It makes me feel good that their pockets will be hurting. The only thing that doesn't make me feel good is my pockets might also be hurting, you know? But if I have to suffer so they can learn a lesson, maybe, I think that's a good trade-off. Yeah, I think it's a good trade-off.
Seeing gas prices makes me irrationally angry, and it's not necessarily because of the price, even though that sucks. It's because of what the price represents. Because we told you that this man who ran on gas prices being lower, grocery prices being lower, inflation being lower, the economy being better, no wars. We told you he was lying. We told you he was going to bamboozle you. And he did. And I don't even feel happy saying I told you so, because we all lose. We're all losing. Because you believed a con man. Because you blindly followed a proven con man. And you're still blindly following him. So every time I see it, it just makes my blood curdle. Because I'm like, you told me. You told me that there was going to be lower gas prices. You told me that I was a snowflake and a lot of other things, because I didn't believe him when he said that. Because I knew that wasn't going to happen. And now they're even higher directly because of him. And so, again, it's not an I told you so, but I told you so. I told you. And I'm mad because you promised me. You promised me that Donald Trump was going to wave a magic wand and everything was going to be great. And we knew that wasn't going to happen. And you didn't listen. So, thanks a lot.
I just think it's funny that the same people who were so upset and screaming and crying about gas prices during the Biden administration and literally didn't want to vote for Kamala because of the egg prices, the gas prices, the grocery prices, are now under an administration that literally does not give a crap about any of those things. And since then, they have all increased. Gas has literally increased $1 a gallon in the last week. And we're the same people that were screaming and crying about gas prices during the election. And that's why they didn't want to vote for Kamala or whatever. We're the same people, huh? In the last week, gas has literally skyrocketed because of Trump's illegal war in Iran. So yeah, I just think that that's really, really funny. Where are those same people now? Do you care? Or now you're like kind of excusing it because it's your president that you voted for that could care less that all of these things are increasing and that nothing has come down, everything's gotten worse. Yeah, I just think that that's really, really interesting and funny. Gas was steady under $5 a gallon the past year. And now suddenly, within a few days, it's skyrocketed because of Trump's stupid war that he decided to start. So yeah, I just think it's really funny.
Hey, what happened to all the MAGAs that were on here posted about how cool it was that gas prices went down a few cents under Trump? Where are you guys at now? What happened? Oh, I guess gas prices kind of went up, didn't they? Well, hey, since you love this war in Iran so much, why don't you post about how cool it was that America bombed a school and we killed over 100 children? Why don't you post about that?
All right, for all the MAGA num-dums, Sugar Daddy, Donald Trump's Proud Boys, Proud Girls, Snowflakes, and I just got a question. Please leave me a comment if you know the answer, okay? So for all of you out there, I guess most of you have like big trucks, right? Like the one with flags and shit in the back, dragging all over the town, just show the world that, you know, Trump wins, you know, that kind of stuff. I kind of just wondering, what do you see when you look at the gas price right now? Or the final, you know, payment for your gas refill at the gas pump? Are you seeing the 13-year-old Donald Trump's face on there? Mm-hmm. Or are you seeing, like, you know, your Sugar Daddy Trump's image shows up like on the side of that price tag, like a divine being, or some kind of like more bizarre image, like, you know, like a superhero show up and pointing at the price. I did that. I did that. You guys better enjoy it. And you're going to be cheering on the pump? I want to know. Please leave me a comment for that, okay?
Response to my video, MAGA's telling me that the president does not control oil in the United States. What? And that Donald Trump is not responsible for the rising oil and gasoline prices that we see at the gas pump. What? What? Yes, they're telling me Donald Trump does not control oil prices, and directly he does not, and that he's not responsible for the rising gas prices that we see at the gas pump. What? This is the problem. They are definitely burned out light bulbs. So let me explain something to these MAGA people. Number one, we're going to talk about cause and effect, and we're going to talk about presidential politics. Cause and effect. The reason the gas prices are going up at the gas pump is because of the war that Donald Trump started with Iran. That wasn't called for, and it's an illegal war. Bibi Netanyahu helped too. Because of them, oil facilities throughout the Middle East were bombed and have been destroyed. Likewise, the Straits of Hormuz, where over 20 to 30% of the world's oil flow through, is not flowing through. There is now an oil shortage in the world because oil is not flowing through here, and all the damage to all the facilities. Because of this, because Donald Trump did this in turn has caused oil and gas prices and diesel, all of it, aviation fuel, airline tickets, anything to go up. This is also going to cause inflation to go up. So that is the cause and effect that Donald Trump caused the war, to cause this to cause the oil interruption, cause the oil shortage, and we've got gas prices increasing because of Donald Trump. Got it? You need, if not, you need to replace those burned out light bulbs and put in new ones so you can see. MAGA and MAGA, FAFO, you voted for him, you got it, but the rest of us are paying the price for it. Love to hear from my Democrats, my MAGAs, my crazies, my cuckoos, and the burned out light bulbs. They don't accept responsibility for anything they do. And this man, whatever he does, they pretend he didn't do it, just like those Epstein files.
The story is not that gas prices are spiking due to Trump's war in Iran. In fact, when it comes to energy prices, the real story started 13 months ago. Because Trump didn't just bomb a major oil producer that also controls the Strait of Hormuz. He did it at the worst possible time, virtually ensuring that this could only go one way, the worst one. In fact, there's a version of this crisis where millions of American families are significantly less exposed to the economic consequences of his recklessness. A version where millions of families have solar panels on their homes, and their electric costs don't move when oil spikes. And where millions more are driving EVs, and they're watching gas prices go up on the news and not at the pump. But because of Trump's malignant incompetence, that version of reality is a pipe dream. The day Trump took office, he signed executive orders that paused new wind and solar permits on federal lands, that halted offshore wind leasing entirely, and that canceled permits for wind projects that had already been approved. Then a month later, his administration froze the Solar for All program, which was designed to put solar panels on low-income homes, which housed the people who are most sensitive to energy cost spikes. That program was then terminated entirely by the big bullshit bill. But that's not all the big bullshit bill did, because it also eliminated the federal tax credit for new wind and solar projects, which effectively ended the incentive pipeline for commercial-scale new energy. The bill also killed the residential solar tax credit, which was a 30% deduction that homeowners could claim when they install solar panels on their house. It eliminated the EV purchase tax credit. So if you were going to buy an EV, and now it's more affordable to buy a gas-powered vehicle, congratulations, you're now at the whim of Trump's foreign policy and whatever Iran decides to do with that 21 miles of water. And lastly, he killed the EV charging infrastructure credit, virtually paralyzing investment in the EV grid that's required for EV adoption to be viable at scale. In an energy market that relied entirely too much on oil for the better part of a century, under Obama and Biden, the United States finally got to a place where we were less dependent on foreign oil, because both of those Democratic presidents worked to significantly increase domestic production while diversifying the energy grid, all while actually doing something to help the climate. And critically, this helped protect us from supply disruptions, not unlike the one Donald Trump just chose for us as he attacked Iran, but not before he took every alternative to oil off the table. Fact is, in this country, when it comes to the cost of energy, Donald Trump threw us all into an oil well and pulled up the ladder.
Do you regret your vote right now?
Well, between him and her, I thought he was the better choice, but honestly, I miss my Uncle Joe. I was a nobody, and I was balling then. Now, I couldn't even tell you. I couldn't even show you $5 in my pocket.
We spoke to Trump voters here in Florida who are ticked off about the fact that the gas prices in the state have gone up by an average of about 60 cents within just a week.
I would just wish he'd keep up on his campaign promise and say he was going to put it under $3. He'd end that war so fast. But here it is, 5 years later, helping his buddy out get his more money. And then never mind charging us Americans all sorts of money for fuel that you just stole from Venezuela.
And those gas prices are getting higher because of volatile oil prices due to the war in Iran, a war that these Trump voters tell us they hope wraps up quickly.
If I could, speak to the president, I'd just encourage him to finish up this war and get us back to a safe world.
He's saying about for our safety, leave somebody alone, they won't bother you.
Hopefully this conflict over there will end, it's just unfortunate.
The overall vibe here at the gas pump amongst these Trump voters is they feel like the economy is not going well right now.
At the moment, I'm really out of work.
My hope is that it's temporary and it doesn't last for too long, and oil prices come back down. That's my hope.
At the end of the day, when the gas price go up, everything does too. From grocery to shipping, it's not just about the politics, it's about how much money people have left at the end of the month. For many of these high prices are a sign that country need to get back to the basic and focus on making life affordable to average of family again. If you are new here, please can consider subscribe, like, share. Don't forget to leave a comment. And for the returning subscriber, thank you so much for your support. Really, we appreciate. See you in the next episode.